Welcome back to the second hour. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Today is the 14th day of June. How about that, Dr. Tenpenny? You know, that's like bringing the second witness on, right? Because here's why we do that. Because I stand up in front of you every day and I tell you that the sky is actually blue. But, you know, it's kind of a hard thing to believe because it's the same thing all of the time and it's just the same guy all of the time. But then when we have another healthcare professional who's respected in the community and they say the same stuff that I say, well, then your brain starts to open a little bit more. This is the value of the second witness, and that's why we do it. We're slowly dragging, no. Coaxing, no. Pushing, yes. Slowly pushing you into the light of medical nutrition. And it ain't going to stop here. More and more guests of Dr. Tenpenny's caliber coming up in the weeks to come. Stay tuned. Tell everyone in your life about this radio show. We are out to make a difference. Fire your MD now. Check out the website, fireyourmdnow.com. If you're listening to the podcast, the number to call for more info, 855-347-3696. We're international, folks. You know why? Godfrey's back from Germany. Hey, Godfrey, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hey, Doc.
What's going on, Godfrey? How can I help you today?
I'm so grateful for everything you're doing. I just want to find out about the retinopathy and glaucoma.
Oh, okay. So Dr. Wallach, years ago, was giving a lecture when his audio cassette, now it's a CD, of course, but back in the day it was an audio cassette, and it was called Dead Doctors Don't Lie. When that first came out, it was a phenomenon. And, you know, tens of millions of copies of that audio cassette were sold, and Dr. Wallach was an overnight sensation on the lecture circuit. And, you know, 15 years ago, right at the apex of the Dead Doctors Don't Lie mania in this country, he was giving a lecture somewhere in the West, the western United States, to about 500 people. And he was telling everybody about his experience with people recovering from eye conditions with medical nutrition. And there was a medical doctor in the crowd. And he raised his hand and said, Dr. Wallach, you're a GD liar. He said, you're a GD liar. He said, I'm an eye specialist. You cannot reverse these conditions that you're talking about. And Dr. Wallach said, I don't know what you're talking about because we do it all of the time. So in front of 500 people, the MD and Dr. Wallach made a bet. And the MD gave Dr. Wallach 10 of his patients, well, referred 10 of his patients who were legally blind with many different things, pityriasis, rosacea, macular degeneration, glaucoma, you name it, retinopathy. Gave him 10 of his patients. And within 6 months, on Dr. Wallach's health recovery protocols, every single one of them recovered their vision. Every single one. 100% success. Now, that medical doctor was so humbled by that experience that he recorded an audio cassette, which then they turned into a CD, for Dr. Wallach, talking about his experience with the use of medical nutrition in a clinical setting for eye diseases, and it's called Seeing is Believing. Seeing is Believing. Lest ye see signs and wonders, ye will not believe. And so this is it. Now, you can purchase that CD. I think it's like $3. Check it out at drjwallach.com. That's drjwallach.com. That's where you can go to get most of Dr. Wallach's recorded and written information, drjwallach.com. So, yes, the answer is here. When we're up against an eye condition, it's no different than being up against a joint condition or a liver condition or a kidney condition, right? Yeah. Our whole situation here is support and promote the structure and function of the human body. Get the heck out of the way, and the body will fix itself. Now, the secret sauce for eye health is antioxidants, selenium, and the Ultimate Daily Capsules. Antioxidants, selenium, and the Ultimate Daily Capsules. That's, of course, on top of the Healthy Start Pack. So the recommendation is the Healthy Start Pack, appropriate for body weight, 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules per 200 pounds of body weight per month, 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules per 200 pounds of body weight per month, plus a diet that's extremely high in antioxidants, because most of the structural damage and the functional trouble that happens in the eyes is caused by oxidative damage, right? It's oxidative damage. So people eat fried chicken, and now there's free radicals in the bloodstream, and the free radicals will attack a certain part of the eye, and they'll damage it. Person has oil in a bottle, dresses their salad with olive oil, and they think it's the best thing in the world, and the olive oil is full of free radicals and delivers into that person's body free radicals, which then attack and destroy whatever it can in the body. And if it happens to be the retina, well, then you're out of luck. If it happens to be the optic nerve, well, you're out of luck. If it happens to be the muscles in and around the eye, you're out of luck. If it happens to be the lens of the eye, you're going to get cataracts and so forth and so on. So really, eye health underlines in broad strokes the importance of eliminating the 10 bad foods from the diet, because in eliminating the 10 bad foods, not only do you help your gut to absorb things better, but you also go a long way automatically to just eliminate the lion's share of the free radical donors to the human body. And then the only thing left to do is augment your body's intake of antioxidants. And we use the selenium to support and promote the structure and function of the body's own antioxidant, which is glutathione. The body's own antioxidant, natural antioxidant, glutathione, is recycled in the presence of selenium. It's a wonderful thing. So 100,000 ORAC a day, eliminate the 10 bad foods, use the Healthy Start Pack, the selenium, and the Ultimate Daily Capsules, appropriate for body weight, and life is going to be good, man. And if you want inspiration to help these people maintain the discipline, right, because healing is a process, not an event, purchase a copy or 2 or 3 of Seeing is Believing. And it's a wonderful CD to listen to. I mean, it's, you know, it's a little dated because it was recorded, I don't know, 15 years ago. But the truth was the truth then, it's the truth now. It's a fantastic opportunity. I love helping people with eye troubles. It's just a wonderful thing when all of a sudden people can start to see again. I mean, it's just, that all by itself beats all the money in the world, Gottfried. So that's what I want to tell you about that. Anything else I can talk to you about today?
Yeah. What about if someone wants to come personally to you in the States?
If they wanted to have a private consultation with me?
That's right.
Well, they just call up 855-347-3696 and schedule that. I do online phone consultations, Skype consultations. Nobody needs to travel all the way to the United States. I treat people all over the world. Well, look, I don't treat people. I don't treat disease. I give consultations to anybody who wants a health consultation, to anybody all over the world via the Internet or Skype, and I don't diagnose, however. Where people can use me to their maximum ability is if they already know what their diagnosis is. They already are taking meds for it. The meds are not working, and they want an alternative, a science-based, clinically verified alternative. I can help them, but I'm not in the business anymore of making a diagnosis. But once people have a diagnosis dialed in, then I'm their man, and I'm a phone call away, brother. 855-347-3696. 855-347-3696. Thanks for everything that you're doing over there in Germany, Gottfried. You continue to be the man.
The PayPal stuff I discussed with you, did you correct it?
Yeah, it's not a problem on our end. The problem is with Germany's end, and we're in the process of trying to work that out. I'm not very optimistic about it. But, you know, where there's a will, there's a way, and there's a lot of ways to skin that cat. So the problem is that people from Germany are trying to buy subscriptions to my online health recovery stuff, and it's not being accepted by PayPal, right? That's right. All right, we're on it, Gottfried. Stay tuned. You know, we fix as many bugs as we can, and as frequently as they come up. I appreciate the heads up. I appreciate the hold. I appreciate the trust. Now go out there and make a difference in Germany. Thanks so much for the call, man. Going right now from Germany to Texas, because that's how we roll. We're going to talk to Blake from Texas. Hey, Blake, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, it's a privilege to speak with you.
Well, it's a privilege to listen to you, Blake. Thanks for the call.
Awesome. I've been listening to you since September and just learning an incredible amount. I really appreciate what you do. I've got a friend, he's been going to a doctor, a specialist for 10 years, and he's got IBS, and he's really not that much better after 10 years. He also told me he's got very low blood pressure, and it's 90/70. Anything he can do nutrition-wise to help that?
Well, yeah, irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. These are all the same disease from our point of view, just more and more and more tissue destruction, right? Kind of like the difference between somebody's front porch being on fire or their garage being on fire or one bedroom being on fire or the whole freaking house being on fire. It's just more and more and more and more damage. So the fundamental root cause of this, from our point of view, is consistent unwitting consumption of food that's pro-inflammatory. You know, just like if you put diesel fuel in an unleaded engine, the car's going to run like crap. If it runs at all, there ain't nothing wrong with the engine. You just put the wrong fuel in the tank. Well, it's the same with the human digestive tract, right? So the problem here, or the root cause, is wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Now, the other 6 bad foods are bad for you anyway, but it's kind of like if you had a cut on your hand and you squeezed lemon juice into it, it would sting like a son of a gun. But if you squeezed lemon juice into your other hand that didn't have a cut, you wouldn't feel it at all. So when the gut's all messed up, and then you eat the other 6 bad foods, oh baby, you're going from the frying pan into the fire. We're up against the hard break, Blake. Stick around. I'll tell you what to do to support and promote the structural integrity and the functional integrity of the gut when we come back. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Stick around, folks. You're going to have the eye of the tiger if you keep listening to me for long enough, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Give me a call. Lines are open. We are talking to Blake about a friend of his who has been dealing with irritable bowel or ulcerative colitis, or what's the diagnosis, Blake?
IBS and low blood pressure.
Yeah, IBS and low blood pressure. All right. So, well, the most common cause of low blood pressure is internal bleeding, but if he's had low blood pressure for a long time, that ain't what's going on, because if it was, he'd be dead. So what we need to do here is establish a healthy digestive tract, and then establish a healthy digestive tract, because really that's at the ground floor of everything that's going on in the human body, and everything should really normalize nicely once we get that dialed in. So in order to support and promote the structure and function of the human digestive tract, the recommendation is, number 1, eliminate the 10 bad foods. If anybody with a gut issue does not stop eating the 10 bad foods, the nutritional program will not work. It will work a little bit, but you won't get the big bang from it, because it'll be 2 steps forward, or 3 steps forward with the nutritional supplements, and 2.5 steps backward with the bad foods. And, you know, that's a net positive gain, but it's just such a minuscule amount that you're never going to notice it, and it ain't going to make a difference. So it is of maximum importance that this person eliminate the 10 bad foods, number 1. Number 2, 1 healthy digestion pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 healthy digestion pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and 1 bottle of Mackey Plus per week if they can afford it. That's 4 a month. If they can't afford 4 a month, do 3 a month or 2 a month. I want them to do at least 1 bottle of Mackey Plus a month. That's a minimum of 1 ounce a day. The recommendation here would be 4 ounces a day. That would be much better. 4 ounces of the Mackey Plus a day would really be good for this and would really stimulate a nice and healthy, fast resolution. Also, not a bad addition into this bargain, especially because he's had this condition for such a long time, would be the root beer belly, which is the probiotics, which are enterically coated to facilitate their passage through the stomach and into the intestinal tract where they're needed. So get him a box of root beer belly and have him take one package of the root beer belly on his tongue, pour the powder onto his tongue every night before bed. And that is a recipe for success right there. However, because he's been dealing with this for 10 plus years, he's going to need to at least commit to this program for 6 months. This is not going to be an overnight sensation, but it is going to be a sensation. He will experience improvement. It's going to be slow and steady. There might be some fireworks up front where everything is remarkably better in a remarkably short amount of time. But in order for his gut to heal from 10 years of abuse, probably more than that, quite frankly, right? It's going to take a while. So he has to be into this program for the long haul, 6 months minimum. And inside of that 6-month timetable, he should be experiencing noticeable and measurable improvement every 4 weeks. Does that sound like a plan, Blake?
It sounds very good. What can we do for his blood pressure? It's 90 over 70.
Same thing, because it's all connected, right? Remember, this is the holistic approach, and so the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone's connected to the hip bone, and so forth. It's all connected. Everything works together. And so this is not, even though it's called the Healthy Digestion Pack, right? It's a comprehensive holistic medical nutrition program, and he should get a 2-for-1 here, so that as the gut starts to come around and get better, the blood pressure should also into the bargain get better. And so in any event, this is what we do. So for the first 3 months, this is all that I want him to do. And I want him to be measuring his blood pressure every day. And if the blood pressure 90 days on this program is completely unchanged, but, his gut symptoms are getting better, then have him call me on the radio and I'll tweak the program for him. But I'll eat my hat, quite frankly, if that needs to happen, because everything's connected in a holistic fashion. And as we're helping the gut and we're helping the entire system with nutrients, the blood pressure should come along for the ride. And I got to tell you, man, this is one of the most fantastic things about the holistic approach. Thanks so much for the call, Blake. You're making a big difference down there in Texas. Now stop listening to me and go out there and enroll somebody, why don't you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, 866-582-9933. Lines are open. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health, with another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. If you're listening to the podcast and would like information on the health opportunity, the wealth opportunity, the number to call, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. To talk to me live in the studio, you know the number, 866-582-9933. Give me a call, just like Lynn from Oklahoma did. Hey, Lynn, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Thank you for taking my call, Dr. Glidden. Yes, I had a question. I have pulled a muscle in my back, and it's been really bothering me for about 5 days. Not constantly, but sometimes it does get severe. And also, I do acupressure, so I've kind of messed up my thumb a little bit. And I was wondering what I might do.
Well, you have to teach your significant other how to do acupressure.
Yeah, well, I don't have one, so out of luck there.
Well, all right. So, you got to start hanging out. You got to start hanging out more around Longevity Nation. I was with someone in my downline. Names will not be mentioned on the air in Las Vegas. And he was bemoaned at the Longevity Convention, right? We were both at the Longevity Convention, and he was bemoaning to me his single status. And lo and behold, by the end of the conference, by the end of the convention, he had found a like-minded soul who was in longevity, and they were a happy couple. So you never know what's going to happen. But
wow.
I digress. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. It's perfectly fine to be single for the rest of your life and whatever floats your boat, baby. But
no, that's my goal. That's my goal, is to find someone. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, Longevity Nation is a really good place to start looking, I would say. What part of Oklahoma do you live in?
I live in Tahlequah. It's northeast Oklahoma, all the rivers, lakes.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Is that tornado country or not so much?
Not as much as the center of the state, but yes, we do see a spiral every now and then.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I'll give you a little insight into the mind of Dr. Glidden. I've always, one of my goals in my life, like on my bucket list, believe it or not, is to figure out what causes tornadoes and to develop some type of machinery in order to stop them from working, because it is not cross currents of air like the meteorologists are telling you. That has nothing to do with it. I think there's something more subtle going on there that drives a tornado forward. But that's not why you called, in any event. So, a pulled muscle in the back, right? So how'd you do it?
I'm not sure if it was moving things or just lifting heavy stuff.
Yeah, and so sometimes when you pull a muscle, it's hard to bend over. Sometimes it makes it hard to stand up. Sometimes the muscle feels better if you're lying flat. Sometimes it feels better if you're sitting upright. Sometimes it actually feels better if you're walking around and it starts to hurt as soon as you become stationary. Have you noticed anything specific about your muscular pain and how it's showing up in your life?
When I sit, like in the car or in a certain chair that's kind of hard, the rest of the time, laying, walking. I also work out at the gym here, and I could have done it there, but it just seems to mainly be when I'm sitting, and it does get, quite severe.
Yeah, and does it make you restless and antsy, like you want to get up and move around and shake it off, or not so much?
I have to, yes, sir, I have to.
Okay, and how about first thing in the morning when you wake up? How's that feel?
I feel amazing, except, occasionally I'll have, tingling in my hand, like a little numbness, but
yeah.
I used to do a lot of factory work, but as far as my back goes, it seems to worsen through the day, but it's still not constant.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a homeopathic medicine that may help you. This is kind of a shot from the hip, but it certainly can't hurt, and if we hit the bullseye with homeopathy, it's just a remarkable thing. Some of the most miraculous, and I'm using that word on purpose, some of the most miraculous healings I've ever witnessed. And I'm a witness myself, personally, have been with homeopathy. So homeopathy is not to be discounted here. I think a good homeopathic remedy to throw at this initially would be Rus toxicodendron. Let me spell that for you. That's R like Roger, H like Harry, U, S like Sam, R-H-U-S. Second word, T like Thomas, O, X, I, C like Charlie, O, D like David, E, N like Nancy, D like David, R like Roger, O-N, Toxicodendron, Rus toxicodendron. Any health food store in the world will carry that. Pick up homeopathic Rus toxicodendron in the 30C strength and take 2 pellets every 2 hours while you're awake for 1 day and see if it eases the sensation of pain in the muscle. Now, that's homeopathy is like jump-starting a dead battery in a car, and it either works or it doesn't work. But more to the point here, what would also be prudent and wise and helpful is to give your musculoskeletal system a little extra support. So into the bargain there, the best thing to do is I would triple the amount of liquid calcium that you're taking right now. Keep everything else the same. If you're taking 2 ounces of liquid calcium a day now, take 6 ounces of liquid calcium a day for 5 days. If you're taking 1 ounce of liquid calcium, take 3 ounces of liquid calcium a day for 5 days. And also, one of the old home remedies for any type of a muscular pull or tear is an Epsom salts bath, right? So do you have a bathtub in your house?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, so go to CVS or Walgreens or someplace, get a big bag of Epsom salts. And Epsom salts is magnesium sulfate. And the magnesium in the magnesium sulfate. When you put, the recommendation is to put 1 pound of Epsom salts in a tub filled with hot water. 1 pound in 1 tub of hot water, and soak in it right before you go to bed. Quite frankly, if, you know, your lifestyle allows it, you can soak in an Epsom salts bath in the middle of the day. Anytime that the back pains really like got you by the, you know, really got you, you can soak in an Epsom salts bath if it's available to you, because the magnesium, as it absorbs into the muscles through the skin, will relax the muscles back there, and that's a good thing. So it's 1 pound of Epsom salts in 1 hot tub of water, and you can do that as much as you want. So triple up on the calcium, take a magnesium, an Epsom salts bath, and get some homeopathic Rust toxicodendron at the health food store. And I think within 2 or 3 days, you should be good to go. Does that sound like a good idea, Lynn from Oklahoma?
Oh, heck yeah. What about HGH? What do you think about maybe supplementing with some HGH? Would that help the...
Longevity's HGH Youth Complex?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not the first thing that springs to my mind. HGH Youth Complex is stacked amino acids. It's a bunch of amino acids. And, you know, amino acids are the building blocks of muscles. So, you know, now that I think about it, it might not be a bad idea to give your muscles actually a little bit more support. Usually, however, when it's the case of a pull, what happens is the muscle goes into a spasm. And it's because the muscle's in a spasm, and you know this as an acupuncturist, that's the root cause of the problem. And this is one of the fail-safe mechanisms in the human body that doesn't work so great. Because muscles will go into spasm easily, but it's hard for them to release their death grip. And oftentimes you have to go in with acupuncture, or even with a little, you know, hypodermic injection of saline or something in order to, in the belly of the muscle at a trigger point, in order to get the muscle to relax, because the muscle is inclined to go spastic, but it's not so easy to get it relaxed. So we're actually trying to force relaxation here by loading the body up with the stuff it uses to keep muscles relaxed, calcium and magnesium. But what the heck, if there's actually been a tear or like damage to the muscle, then yeah, this can help. The HGH Youth Complex is not a bad idea at all. And that makes you, Lynn from Oklahoma, the smartest girl in the entire state. You go, girl. Thanks so much for the call. Go out there and get them. Remember, Longevity Nation, hey, 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 it just might be a nice little future relationship for you waiting out there. So get on the enrollment train, girl. You go. Thanks so much for the phone call. Going from Oklahoma now to Tennessee, not that far away from Oklahoma to Memphis, Tennessee, talking to Joe from Memphis. Hey, Joe, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Thanks for accepting my call. I have a question about myself and my husband. For me, I have suffered with sinusitis and ear infection for a total of about 8 years, and I was just recently had a sinusitis last month, and I was given antibiotics and also steroids, and I just need to know what would you recommend to help support and promote the health of my body to prevent this?
Yeah. So the main thing with sinusitis which is chronic recurring infections in the sinus cavities. Have you had any root canals in your upper teeth?
I did many years ago.
All right. So you might want to go to a good dentist who has a digital x-ray machine. A digital x-ray, that's pretty important. You want to ask them if they have a digital x-ray machine. And get them to do an x-ray of the part of your body that had the root canal in it, looking to see if, you know, what they do with the root canal is they go in with this little tool and they basically drill out the nerve that goes all the way down to the very bottom of the tooth. And right next to the bottom of the tooth is your sinus cavity, depending, of course, on which tooth it is. So it's easy. It's really easy for the dentist, if they're not on their game, to break through the bottom of the roof of the tooth and punch a little hole into the sinus cavity. Now, if that's happened, you're going to have chronic sinusitis for the rest of your life because there's going to be a recurring bacterial stream going on in there. So that's the first thing that I would recommend you do, is go to a good dentist who has a digital x-ray. Why do we recommend a digital x-ray? Because digital x-rays, give to your body way less radiation than a normal x-ray machine does. So I would tell the dentist that a doctor told you to go and get this done specifically to look to see if there's been impingement of the sinus cavity by that old root canal. Now, if that's happened, you're going to have to get the tooth pulled. The tooth that had the bad root canal, you're going to have to get that yanked, and then, an oral surgeon can go in there and fix the hole. That shouldn't be too hard of a thing to do. But, notwithstanding that, if that is not the problem and everything is hunky-dory, then what's your blood type?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not
okay. What's your nationality?
African American and a little Indian.
Yeah, okay. All right. Do you have a problem when you drink milk or eat cheese or ice cream?
No, I do not.
Okay. In children, the most common causes of ear infections and sinus infections is consistent consumption of dairy products. So it's possible that you have an allergy to dairy. What you might want to do by way of experimentation is for 7 days in a row, just stop eating anything made from milk. If it's made from milk, don't even look at it for 7 days and see how you feel generally speaking, and then specifically see what happens to your sinuses. We're up against a hard break here, Joe. Hang with me, and when we come back on the other side, I'm going to tell you what to do nutritionally to support and promote the structure and function of your sinuses. Hey, everybody, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Pretty good show today. Hey, how about Dr. Sherry Tenpenny? Stick around, more to come. You know what they say, ladies and gentlemen, if you love your job, it ain't never work. Well, that's exactly what it is with longevity. It is called network marketing. You have to put in hours on the clock. You have to be there. You have to do the work, but it's really not work. It's more of a fun thing. It's a fun thing to do to help people recover their health and make it possible for you to recover your wealth. We're talking to Joe from Memphis here. All right, Joe. So what I would do in order to deal with, chronic sinusitis is I would do the Healthy Start Pack and the selenium, appropriate for body weight. I would get some colloidal silver, Longevity's colloidal silver, and I would go to the health food store. And at the health food store, you can get colloidal silver in a little nasal application. It kind of looks like an Afrin bottle. It's got that little tube that you stick a little bit into your nose, and then you spray it. You press down on the pump, and it sprays the colloidal silver. Well, once you finish up the colloidal silver that's in that bottle, you can open it up, dump it out, and pour in Longevity's colloidal silver. And you want to do 5 or 6 sprays to each nostril 5 or 6 times a day. And the best way to do that is you stick that little, applicator tip right in the front of your nose with your chin level to the ground. You do a couple of sprays, and then you tilt your head up to 45 degrees, do a couple of sprays, and then tilt your head all the way up, look all the way up at the ceiling and do a couple of sprays, and then repeat it on the way down. So that's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So do 12 sprays to each nostril 5 times a day. That will infiltrate the sinus cavity with colloidal silver, and colloidal silver is antimicrobial. So the colloidal silver will go a long way towards killing the bugs that are in the sinus cavity, because it's the presence of a bug in the sinus cavity which is causing chronic recurring sinusitis, number 1. Number 2, the next time you're afflicted with a sinus attack, instead of getting an antibiotic, do the killer biotic, Longevity's killer biotic. Do 6 a day. Do 6 killer biotic a day until you're on the other side of it, and then continue to do 6 killer biotic a day for 14 more days. So do 6 killer biotic a day until the sinusitis, the acute sinus event, is over, and then continue with the killer biotic for 14 more days. Now, in order to help the digestive tract recover from the stress of the antibiotics, get some root beer belly and do 1 package of root beer belly on your tongue every night before bed. Do 1 package of root beer belly on your tongue every night before bed, and I would do that for 4 weeks in a row, 30 days. Do 30 consecutive doses of the root beer belly. And finally, well, you know, you have to eliminate the 10 bad foods. Everybody has to eliminate the 10 bad foods. That's kind of a given. But the other thing to consider, interestingly enough, with chronic sinusitis is dehydration. So it's possible that you're not drinking enough water and that the weak link in your dehydration chain is the sinus cavities. And because your sinuses are a little dried out, they get more irritated than they need to be. So we don't want to overlook the obvious here, right, and just be riding on the antibacterial train. Make sure that you're drinking enough water. So, and really the only way to know how to do that is whatever you're drinking now for water, add 32 more ounces a day. So whatever it is that you're doing now, add 32 more ounces of water a day. Now, we've got just a minute and a half left. Do you have a question about your husband?
Yes, I do have a question. He works in the sun often. He wants to know what type of healthy supplement can he drink other than water, and also how to prevent and eliminate toe fungus.
Well, toe fungus. Well, the easiest way to do that is go to the CVS and get some tough actin tenactin and spray the crap out of the toe fungus, number one. Spray his shoes and his boots. But we also have to get to the root cause internally of what's making that happen. The root cause internally is funky blood sugar. So the recommendation for him would be eliminate the 10 bad foods and do 1 healthy blood sugar pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. That's the healthy blood sugar pack and selenium appropriate for body weight. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. And when he's working out in the sun, hook him up with some Rebound FX. Rebound FX in a water bottle. He drinks from that all day long. He will be Superman. No kidding. He's going to love the way that he feels. Thanks so much for the call, Joy. Wish we had more time, but we do not. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Thanks for listening to me this week. I'm back with you live all next week. See you then.